What's up, guys? Petko here. Today we're gonna talk about the update number 4 on Choose Your Main or Alt, whatever you guys feel like. This is literally post-stream. We've been playing for the past 8 hours, and we updated those rankings live on stream. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's happening this week, which classes got changed, how they got changed, and how we display this information within a graph here. Again, if you guys don't know what we're doing here, we pretty much put a numerical value against each class. We rank them based on defensiveness, self-sustain, playstyle, and fun, how easy they are to play, the utility, SC damage, AoE damage. Then we combine the score together and we measure their performance this way. This is purely done for myself so I can choose my ult at the end of this list. We're gonna keep on doing this until the start of the season. After that, it will not be updated until Season 2. So if you enjoy this one, every Saturday at 2 o'clock Central European Time chat, we do it live on stream. Those are going to be the highlights right now. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Let's begin. First thing, I've uploaded here the class changes right under the 3rd of August update. Here's the full vote if you guys want to see it. This is just the highlights of what's happening. Retribution Paladin currently unranked. We removed all the ST and AoE damage right now. They got a bit of changes, slight single target nerf, small AoE buffs here. Currently bugged out because you have pretty much perma wings in Mythic Plus, or if not perma, at least 90% wings uptime in Mythic Plus, which inflates your damage. Therefore, we just said, you know what, I'm not gonna rank this or at least put any value this week. We have to wait for next week. So yeah, skipping on Red Paladin, going forward. So far, Fire Mage seems to be on the very bottom. And that is primarily because they yet again received another nerfs, which is something bizarre for me. But once again, Fire Mage right now, in some cases, could compete with tank damage in Mythic Plus. If you play like low to mid level keys, you could actually do tank damage. You know, like on AoE, sometimes you can catch up. ST is quite bad right now. Fire Mage is in a dire need of damage buffs ASAP. Playstyle is pretty fun. You're strong defensively. You're hard to play, but again, the rewards of playing Mage are huge. So if they were to get buffed, gonna climb a lot higher. Moving forward, BM Hunter. They receive quite I wouldn't say small buff, but like, sorry, small nerf. It's like 18%-ish, 19% nerf on single target, which is gonna also affect the AoE as well. Some DPS is dropped by, hence why we just said, you know what, we're gonna let BM Hunter go a little bit down here based on this one. Nothing else has been changed on them. So for now, you are slightly on the bottom. Ele Shaman, I made a video about it. 3 videos, we played it on stream a few times. Well, more than 10 times. I tried a bunch of builds. At the end of the day, we decided, you know what, Ele actually fucking sucks to play. It sucks to play, not fun at all. Damage output is on the lower end right now. I'm really hoping to see some love for the Shamans before we get into the War with 10. I'm just hopeful that we get some crump of love, you know. I'm not gonna dive too deep into Ele because I can talk all day about it. Disappointed, anything, you know, you guys can check out the video before that. Balance Druid received some changes, honestly, on a better side. Balance Druid right now does seem to have issues with damage output off cooldowns during CA, Celestial Alignment, especially if you play Elun's Chosen. Your damage output is on a lower end during cooldowns. You are absolutely fine. Again, ramp up damage could be an issue on lower level keys. Perhaps Starfall buffs could help a little bit. Genuinely more single target buffs could help as well. You know, not a complete terrible pick. I like it. Quite versatile. But yeah, just more roll damage. Hunter, what can I say about Hunter? Unchanged from last week. Same mode. Great burst damage. Good sustain. ST kinda crappy. Better defensiveness. Better utility. Playstyle, I don't like the current tier set for MM. I like the season 4, and season 3 tier set of MM. Excuse me, I'm been streaming for like 12 hours, you know, so my brain is fucking rotten right now. Yeah, I genuinely don't like the tier set. I feels like 2 targets is a massive issue. AC damage is an issue. Single target off cooldowns is terrible. So yeah, not the best pickup so far. But again, your burst on cooldown is quite good. So yeah, if you play good with cities, maybe it's fine. It depends. Shadow Priest got some small nerfs. Shadow Priest right now playing Arcane, which is your next hero talents, not Void Weaver anymore. Output seems to be great. much better than before. Well, much better is very relative term, but better than before. One issue I have with Shadow Priest right now is honestly off cooldowns is quite low damage wise. Like sustained damage is quite low. During cooldowns, if they can survive the whole void form, then obviously damage is great. You can pair this great with any other caster comp like Mage Oak, for example, the God comp, the Exodia, quote unquote. So if you do have an Exodia, I've already talked about it on stream, the rankings here would be a lot higher than 6.5 for damage. You're probably looking at least 1 point above everywhere, so 7.5. And if I add 2 points here, it goes to 15, so something around here, you know. It's gonna be something around here. Fair enough for them, you know. I think for the buffs could probably put them a little higher for now. I think it's decent spot. Death Evoker, same issue. Shadow Priest, during cooldowns, especially on burst damage, it's absolutely crazy. Off cooldowns is quite mediocre, on the lower end currently. Utility is great. Have a several sets of defensiveness. Playstyle and fun is not too shabby. I mean, sure, the offensive range of Death Evoker could be an issue, but overall, you know, it's something you gotta play around it. And it is a relatively easy spec to play. Outlaw got buffed. It got buffed a while ago, like I think 4 days ago. So more damage across the board for single target, for AoE as well. Nothing else has been changed here. Pretty hard to master. Outlaw Rogue playstyle is we consider the playstyle above average in terms of fun. Honestly, a few issues I have with Outlaw Rogue. The first issue is being target cap. Still one of the few specs to be target cap, kind of unfortunate. Second one is you don't have really any kind of real burst. Use sustained damage is great. Burst on demand, kind of weak compared to most of the melee classes or in general classes. I would love to see some love around that one. But overall, much better than last week. Going up in the rankings week by week, you know, climbing the ladder. Monks received a very tiny buff this week. I believe in a range of like 3.5%-ish for like Mythic Plus. The whole toolkit remains unchanged. Utility, defensiveness, playstyle, and easy to play have been unchanged. We believe Windwalker Monk is one of the most fun specs in the game currently. Performance-wise, during cooldowns, especially front load burst, absolutely amazing. Sustained damage a little bit on the lower end. But if you manage to play with your cooldowns or have to position your cooldowns better, then you can climb some rankings on top. Overall, not a bad pickup, better than last week, you know, getting there. Havoc DH received yet another buff. This is the second week in a row that Havoc has been getting buffs. Honestly, doing a lot better right now. Seems to be the... So Aldraki Reaver is something that people are starting to move away from. So now they're going with FS build, which has very nice heavy AoE damage output, especially... you know, like mass AoE, like you can actually pump some real numbers. Single target seems to be still kind of an issue here, but overall, as you can see, 7 and 7 for damage. Rankings are going higher and higher compared to like several weeks ago. Now you're a bit like around average-ish pick, slightly above average performance currently. So I'm pretty happy to see that on Havoc. They needed the adjustments. I wouldn't be surprised if they get some hero talents adjustments, like, you know, nerfs there, because it seems to be like the damage from the hero talents could be anywhere between 7 to 12% from it, so it's kind of huge, you know. We'll see how it's gonna go. So far, I'm happy with them. Again, playstyle, I don't like how Havoc plays right now. Honestly, it has like shit tons of buttons. You gotta watch out for a lot of stuff. Hard to min-max, honestly. It's not really casual friendly spec, but, you know, Havoc DH, you know, you can dash left and right. It's pretty fun most of the time, but the rotation-wise, meh. Enh Shaman got some nerves, so that's why we dropped a few points down. Few points down for AoE, few points down for single target, yet everything remains the same. Again, Enh right now much better than Ele. It used to be one of the strongest picks. It got nerfed twice in a row. Now it's around average-ish performance, slightly above average, I would say. Yeah. I'm gonna dive deeper in like each class tomorrow in the tier list, but for now just like TLDR. Survivor Hunter received some single target small buffs. AoE have been nerfed a little bit, actually quite a bit, because of the wildfire bomb nerfs. And I'll be honest here, Survival still feels tons of fun to play. Honestly, still the best Hunter spec so far. AoE damage is still gonna be relatively good, so you don't have to worry about that one. Estes is looking also crisp, so nothing to complain. I like the spec. You know, better than before, better survivability, better utility. Seems to be having better damage than Dragonflight as well. So yeah, all in all, wins for that survival. Fury Warrior received a small, I guess, first buff in the nerf. We already know that Odin Fury got slight adjustments, like nerfs there, but Slayer Fury has been buffed, so now your single target should be a little bit higher than before. Again, AoE profile. We already know that Fury has a solid AoE, so nothing changed there. Utility part is still an issue here, as I already mentioned. You are one of the weakest utility specs in the game, together with Arms Warrior. I would not be surprised if next seasons or at least expansions that gets to be adjusted and redesigned. Overall, solid pick across the board, especially with like low level keys. You know, you would not have a problem with it. Sub Rogue mostly unchanged, nothing to say about Sub Rogues. I believe Secret Technique got nerfed by like 8%. On top of my head, I remember, which is gonna mostly impact the AoE. Overall, great pickup. I think you're pretty tanky, have nice bursts on demand, good sustain, good single target. Nothing really to complain. Unholy DK, nothing has changed except the Rider of the Apocalypse received a very, very tiny nerf. Everything else should remain the same. Unholy is the burst machine of Mythic Plus, especially. You know, multiple packs together, they melt with your cooldowns. Single target is quite competitive right now. I am in love with Unholy. Honestly, plays pretty good. Better defensiveness is quite bold to say. They remain pretty much the same. Yeah, that's pretty much still DR. Nothing has changed for like playstyle or utility. You still play Riders, you don't play Sunlin, so. Arms Warrior received quite big buffs, honestly. I think right now Arms is slightly better than Fury. Specifically Slayer Arms, at least when I tested it out, Arms seem to be performing a little bit better. Damage is your biggest ally here. I wouldn't be surprised if in a full melee cleave you might be picked up here. Genuinely speaking, very surprised for the output you're doing. You know, you're massacring people most of the time. You're quite competitive on like AoE damage across like, you know, most of the specs here. I would even argue that Arms could beat several specs up in the rankings above them on like mid to like low level keys. Like all of these mages, for example, Aff Lock, etc. Like Arms could completely decimate in this kind of key levels. But again, top 10 I would say is a very, very good spot for you. Overall, if I gotta put your number, probably 8 here, which is pretty W, you know, huge W for you. Federal Druids, again, they got yet another buff. Right now, we are starting to figure out the exact optimal rotation. DOTC is still in a talks to further utilize how you should be, you know, playing correctly, etc. Again, some people saying about AoE spenders, whether you should be biting on 8 targets or below, or 6 targets or below. Well, you should be biting, by the way, that many targets. Or you should be spamming like the, you know, your AoE finisher. What else I could say about Pharaoh? Better single target, better AoE, good sustained damage. Utility is unchanged, pretty wild there. I like it. Survivability has always been decent. You have several sets of defensiveness here. I don't like that sometimes you're starved on energy. It feels like the playstyle has slowed down since Dragonflight. A lot more like, you know, easy catch-up pace. Not a big fan of it, but you know, I'll take it. Yeah, maybe with like a better stats like late into the season, or maybe season 2. That's gonna go by itself, you know, with higher haste values or etc. Overall, I think one of the better picks out there. Aff Lock mostly unchanged. They buffed single target a little bit, so we increased the points up by like 0.5. AoE Wither has been receiving some nice quality of life changes. We still believe that it might have been like a %-ish buff there, maybe 1.5%, unsure about that one, but overall we believe it's going to be a solid range specialization for the upcoming expansion. Nothing else has changed here. Absolutely in love with the playstyle of Affle. One of my go-to favorite specs. I consider to main all that one, but again, I'm undecided yet. Frost Mage received slight changes here on behalf of builds. Death Show is not gonna longer be played. You're going back to casting Glacial Spike, which I'm big fan of Glacial Spikes, honestly. With that Glacial Spike build, I think you do like around 3.2% more AoE and 3.2% less AoE and around 2.8, 2.9 better single target, which is again a decent trade-off. I guess net neutral change here for Frost Mage. Honestly, in my opinion, one of the if not the best mage spec right now. Quite casual friendly because it's pretty easy to play, so people are gonna love it. Arcane Mage received some buck reverts, which let them double dip. You know, a playstyle that people loved it, that you can queue spells after another. What else can I say about Arcane? ST has been quite good throughout pretty much the whole beta, I mean, except for like one beta build. Burst damage on demand is absolutely fucking nuts. Whether it's gonna be AoE or ST, no complaints there. Utility toolkit hasn't been changed at all. 5 out of 5. Defensiveness 5 out of 5. Playstyle and fun. It's quite fun to play, and it's much easier than Dragonflight. Honestly, Frost and Arcane Mage are probably one of the specs that I consider part of the God comp with augmentation. So their rankings, even though they might not be the best right now, would probably go higher if you pair this with like Evoker, probably like getting 9.5 even, you know, just because of the Arcane intellect. Fucking crazy. Assa Rogue received yet another buffs in a row. Output right now from Assa Rogue is absolutely crazy. AoE, ST, you name it, they are slapping. Utility unchanged, defensiveness unchanged, playstyle and fun. It is quite fun to play. For most often, I would say you are probably better on a high level keys where mobs actually live longer so you can do your full burst, but nonetheless, you are still going to perform decent across every key level. Just remember, the higher the key goes, the longer the mob lives, the better you become. Frost DK, on the other hand, has received, for some reason, insane buffs. Don't ask me why. But Frost DK, even though was one of the best picks last week, they received buffs this week. So now they're even better than before. Better single target, better AoE too. Across the board, sustain damage is insane. Better sustain as well, better burst. I can't really say anything about Frost DK. I just cannot complain. If right now, the best melee, currently with Assa Rogue together, the best melees. Absolutely crazy performance everywhere. Last but not least, Demon Lock has been buffed substantially. One of the biggest gains from Demon Lock, probably gained like 20 or 25% raw damage buffs across like ST, AoE combined. Again, Napkin Mat, Napkin Sim. This could be less than that, but so Diabolist, Hero Talons got buffed to Oblivion. They went from useless to Super Giga, Omega, Galaxy. I can't even say broken, you know. Output right now across the board, it's absolutely nutty. ST, AoE, sustained damage, there is no complaint here. You're ranged, you're pretty tanky, have a nice utility, you know. One of the most well-rounded balanced picks so far. Well, balance is kind of a relative term, but like, wow, I would just say well-rounded spec because you can do everything. Destro Lock is the hype of the week, extremely turbo broken. You guys, if you have seen any streams of mine, I've been doing like 11 or 10 million bursts with Destro Lock. You even cast the Rain of Fire on single target. They buffed the living shit out of Destro Lock. So right now, it's giga broken. You can check out one of the vaults and see how I play it's Destro Lock myself. But honestly, I would not be surprised if they were get to be nerfed next week, because I'm 99.9% sure they will get some nerfs. Whether they're gonna get him this week or next week, it's a matter of time. You know, it's quite OP right now. And last but not least, Augmentation Evoker remains unchanged. They received some small nerfs this week, which pretty much they try to, you know, offset the amount of damage you can give to your allies. Sure, you're gonna decrease the performance a little bit, but I still believe Augmentation on a high level keys, even mid from high level keys, is one of the must specs to have. Because it's the only spec that can give you better defensiveness and better damage, and makes you heal more, makes you tank, you know, be tankier, makes you DPS be tankier and do more damage. Honestly, crazy across the board. Anyway, chat, that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next Saturday with the upload. Again, I do this live on stream at 2 o'clock Central European time every single Saturday until the release of the season. We do the tier list tomorrow on Sunday, so I'm gonna see you guys then. Peace out, have a good one. I'll see you next time. And all the links down in the description. Bye for now.